Hi there, Kit here, and welcome back to Corpse Party Blood Drive. Let's see here. Let's go. I think it was it this way that I had to go? That it wasn't really giving me any real fruitfulness to it. I can't go any further. The door is shut tight. Open it. Okay, I knocked, but I didn't try to open it. I took a deep breath, mentally prepared myself for what I was about to attempt, and grabbed the steel doorknob. My phone? God, don't scare me like that. Who would be calling me at this hour? Huh? Unknown number. Hello? Go, don't go, don't go, don't go. Oh! 04244444. Okay. What the hell? The number disappeared from the screen as if the call had never been placed. What? What? Is my phone on the fritz or something? God. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go. Clicky. It's open. I'm gonna go. Let's go, Ayumi. Hello? It's so dusty. How many years has it been since someone actually lived here? Well, be careful with those deep breaths. You might inhale some dust, and that ain't gonna be fun. Is anyone home? Well, I mean, there is a candle. There's a life-saving candle right next to you. Should I take off my shoes? Well, it is polite. You should take off your shoes when entering someone's home. Because you don't want to get your nasty shoe feet all over everything. Thank you? That was totally a voice. Yeah, it was. That's right. I need to learn from my mistakes at Yoshie Shinozaki's house. This time, I've come prepared. With a voice recorder Sis used for her research. November 10th, 2008, 7:48 p.m. Beginning investigation of Makina Shinozaki's apartment. Come on, girl, you got this. I'm fine. I can do this. I've been to that school and that house. You got this, Ayumi. You. We're gonna call you a you. Let's go over, save this one. Life-saving candle. Looks like a bathroom door. Open it! Let's go potty in their bathroom. It's a Japanese-style toilet. Fortunately, despite the condition of the apartment building in general, it seems to be a modern and fully functioning non-septic model without any foul smell. I wonder if the water's still on. Even if it is, the roar of flushing water would really be disconcerting right now. You gotta go, don't ya? Why do I have to be at a time like this? What the hell's wrong with me? Nervous bladder, sweetheart. Use the toilet. I'm not gonna make you hold it like Yuka. I can't. I really have to go. If I don't, I'm afraid I'll wet myself. Which would be... I get to watch you pee. Sneaking into a deceased woman's abandoned apartment and using her bathroom. It was kind of absurd, but I almost felt like I was infiltrating the deepest chambers of an enemy base. I'm so nervous it just won't come out. There you go. Oh. Ayumi, we have a problem, sweetheart. What sounded like my own relieved voice echoing back at me from the walls. Thought I'd finally done my business, but my bladder still felt completely full. I haven't gotten anything out at all. That's not good. Oh, okay, it's you. It's not you, it's... Okay. Sis, blood? It's not dripping from the ceiling or anything. As if accompanying the loud bubbling sound, the dull squish of a blade cutting into flesh was also faintly audible. Ew. It immediately brought to mind somebody slitting her wrists. Ooh. No, I can't. Just go in a corner, honey. I told it to Yuka, I'll tell it to you too. Go into a corner. Use the bathroom that way. Nobody wants to run around with a bladder full. The way Yamamura was talking, Makina Shinozaki is dead. I got flashlight! But her appliances still seem to be completely intact. Has anyone even been here since her passing? Damn it, this is scary. Yeah? Yeah, I can believe it's scary. Tiny kitchen table set, numerous prescription bags, and instructions. The name written on every bag was Makina Shinozaki. Guess that clinches it. This is definitely Makina Shinozaki's apartment. Yeah. But let's go inspect that then. There's a photo hanging from the freezer door. Oh no. Though blurry and hard to make out, it seemed to be of a forest thick with mist, along with one additional detail that made it much worse. Yeah. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. No. I want to go home. I'm scared. Clues. I'm looking for clues. But where? How? With your eyeballs? I don't even know what I'm looking for, do I? I'll just try to take some of Makina's things back with me, I guess. As many as I can carry. Alright, well, let's inspect other things first. In the corner formed by the wall, the refrigerator and the sink, there's an extremely disturbing amount of mold growing. Just breathing the air nearby feels hazardous to one's health. There aren't any real signs of food anywhere, however. Maybe Makina didn't eat much. Or they all rotted away. There doesn't seem to be anything of a note on the shelves. Okay, so do I just take her stuff then? Numerous prescription bags, yes. Okay, well then, let's inspect here. Let's go into that void. Sparkles! Items lying about can be obtained by examining them. There may be hidden compartments or spaces in shelves and such as well, so be sure to examine everything very carefully. Is it just me, or are these sentences a little weird? There's something lying on the table, which I can understand if it's, since it's dubbed and whatnot. It's not the original language, but I just don't know if it's just me or not. Batteries obtained. Yay! I got batteries for the flashlight I'm not really using because I forgot the button for it. What's this? It was a small white box made out of paper. So small, in fact, that it fit in the palm of my hand with room to spare. It looks like it's bigger than your hand in the model, but I can understand that. It was light as a feather, too. Open it! I ain't putting it back. Oh, hello, dead bird. Again. Why is there another one in here? Maybe she collected dead birds. I have to pick it up, but I really don't want to. Whimper, whimper. Yeah. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I closed my eyes and put my hands together, saying a little prayer for the poor animal. I then left the box where it lay and got back to my feet. Well, that's kind of sort of disrespectful, but yeah. But you prayed for the bird, so it should be okay. The drawers seem to contain only insurance documents, as well as an official name stamp. I can't take these. I wonder if there are any dependents listed, though. Or if there's anything else in here. Let's see. Ah! Photographs! The top photograph on the stack depicted a young woman with a hairstyle decidedly not of the modern era. Is this Makina? The next photograph showed a different woman smiling widely. Her clothes were actually quite beautiful, and her eyes looked almost lifelike on the paper, like they could suck you in. I flipped through each of the remaining pictures, seeing mostly just more of the same until... What? Oh. Makina, Raki, and Yoshie in Yokohama. Oh, okay, interesting. Yoshie Shinozaki, that's Sachiko's mother. That's right! So does that mean this girl is... Is that Sachiko? Is it a little baby? A wee little bab? Oh, that's a mirror. I could see myself in the mirror. I looked worried. Well, no, that's the only thing you can see. Anything in the closet? Oh, this is the bedroom, okay. In the middle of the room, a twin-sized futon was neatly laid out. Its top cover was convex, just as it would be if someone were sleeping beneath it. In fact, that's exactly what it looked like, almost unmistakably. And right on top of it sat a perfect cube of a box, about 10 centimeters across on all sides and bright red like a Shinto torii gate. Which would have been a lot more interesting if I weren't so scared out of my mind by the thought that there might have been someone under that cover this whole time. I don't think there is. I think it's just there. Okay. Let me step all over your body and pick up the box. I have to take this back with me. Okay. What are you doing? It won't open? Oh, you were trying to open it. I couldn't tell what you were trying to do with that. Smoky smoke? Don't you spook me. Okay. Okay. Hello. These character models are nice, though. It was a silhouette of a human being, all black save for two perfectly round cutouts positioned halfway up the head, glinting with an unearthly light. Yeah, we call those typically eyeballs. There were no signs of life nor detail anywhere along the shadowy figure except in those eyes. But those eyes were very much alive. They were undeniably the eyes of a human. Okay. Okay, that's creepy. As if in response to my worst fears, I suddenly caught sight of a small girl in a black dress standing right in front of me. Okay, hesitantly taking a closer look, it was actually me reflected in the mirror. Hi, Zelda. Hi, baby girl. My dog came in. Hi. Hi. Hi, baby. Mommy's busy. Mommy's recording. Go play. Go play. Yes. But not just me. There was a black shadow behind me, and it was coming closer. My dog usually doesn't come in here whenever I'm recording, so that got my attention. I panicked and whirled around, and my light immediately went out. I was completely shrouded in darkness, as if whatever I'd seen had fully enveloped me. Oh no, the yawning's starting. Oh no. No, 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 no. That's what I'm saying, sweetheart. Ow! You ran face first into the corner of that dresser. Stop running. You're gonna break yourself. I know you're scared. I'd stepped on something soft and squishy. Unconsciously, I paused for a split second, pondering what it may have been, but my de facto conclusion was, I don't care. I need to get the hell out of here. You probably... Was it the bird? Did you step on the bird? Yeah, you ran into the door. There you go. Why is it locked? I don't remember locking it. No, please, not now. Open, open. Feeling around along the glass door's surface, I finally found what seemed to be a handle. I tried in vain to turn it, only to realize that I couldn't because... Oh, that's creepy. What? Why won't my right hand open? I didn't have to ask, though. I could feel it and see it. My right hand was being clasped shut by the tiny, ghostly hands of a white-hued child. Oh, man. I shook my arm violently, and the white apparition faded from sight. Ooh. But my closed right hand still wouldn't open. Why? Why can't I open it? I had to get out of there. That was paramount. Clenched fist or no, I needed to leave before something worse happened. Panic, I flung the glass door. There you go. Fling that thing. Okay, this is not the door we went into. Why? There should be the way out. Huh? Hello? I fell back completely sick to my stomach. My heart was pounding so hard and so fast I was convinced I was going to have a heart attack and die. At the very least, I knew I was about to lose consciousness. I can't do anything. That's right in my ear. Oh man, that is creepy. As if to confirm just how done for I was, my nose began bleeding profusely. I had no doubt at all anymore. This was the end. I didn't realize that was your nose. I thought you were just like spewing blood at her just as a defense mechanism. Is that Satoshi or is that Yoshi? Yoshi! Hey, Yoshi! Shinozaki, hey. Snap out of it. Oh, it's all of them. Class rep. All of them came to my rescue. Yay! Oh, look at that beautiful art. Kishinuma moved my worn, limp body onto the tatami flooring and carefully set me up. I regained consciousness right away, and I was immediately met with the worried gazes of Kishinuma, Mochida, and Nakashima. Thank goodness you're safe. Nakashima wiped tears from her eyes. You guys. I was so relieved, so very relieved to see my friends. I started crying as well. Shinozaki, what the hell did you think you were doing coming here by yourself? He cares for you. I had to. I had to. Why? Kishinuma. Satoshi? Let's leave this to Yoshiki. I was the cause of this. The cause of what? Everything. Everything's my fault. All our friends are gone because of me. Even sis. Even she's gone. I was sobbing like a baby. My face must have been a mess, and my voice came out hoarse and in short bursts. How is this your fault? Because it was my idea to do the Sachiko Ever After. I'm the one who brought it to school and had everyone stay to participate. That was the start of it all. It's my fault. Well, I mean, you didn't know it was going to actually work. How can you possibly take sole responsibility for that? Hey, we're a team, Shinozaki. You know that, right? I sheepishly nodded my head and then looked down. I didn't want to meet his gaze. Well, if you know that, then don't forget it. Stop taking everything on yourself. Let me put it to you real simple. Don't you ever think for a second, not even 1 second, that this is all your fault. Kishinuma, you're not to blame, okay? So stop blaming yourself, damn it. Oh, she's so broken. Everybody else here feels the same way too, right? Yeah, Yoshiki's right. He's exactly right. You shouldn't always try to take everything on by yourself. I didn't want you guys to get dragged into this. I tried to do it myself so you wouldn't have to, but I was scared. I just couldn't do anything. God, you are so dense. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. You did good. Just don't do it again. Not without us. I'm dense? That's mean. No, that's not exactly what I meant. Yeah, putting your foot in your mouth there, buddy. Thank you. I didn't entirely believe them. It was the fact that this whole mess started when I led everyone to end the Sachiko Ever After ritual, but I appreciated their words nonetheless. We're the ones who made it out. We have no choice but to come here to terms with what happened. It's a part of us now. We don't have to accept it, though. Yeah, we can still fight this. We can try to set things right, even if only by the slimmest of margins. I think it's fair to say we all feel the same way you do, class rep. What? You claim you couldn't do anything, however, but I'm not quite convinced that's true. Who's that? I didn't recognize the voice at all, and was a little perturbed that no one else seemed startled by it. It belonged to a girl I'd never seen before, wearing an unusual outfit. You must be Ayumi Shinozaki. I'm glad to see no harm has befallen you. You look like the chick that was into the supernatural as well, but why do you look familiar? Who are you? Shinozaki, this is the person who tipped us off about where you were headed and led us here. Her name's Aiko Niwa. Wait, what? Are you related to the other Niwa? I'm sorry to be so presumptuous. I took the liberty of looking into you. I'm what you might call an intelligence agent, I suppose, regarding matters of the supernatural. As a little sister of Hinoe Shinozaki, I suppose the quickest way to explain would be to say that I'm a friend of Naho Senoki's. A friend of Naho's? And you know Sis, too? Yes, your sister, Hinoe, made quite a name for herself in this plane. Ayumi, your right hand. Are you not able to open it? My right hand has been clasped shut this whole time. I'd almost forgotten about it. I tried to open it again, but it still couldn't. No, I can't. Uh-oh. Huh? Let me see. Yoshiki, he's just immediately all over frickin' Ayumi. Little damn, almost literally. Kishinuma grabbed my hand and tried to pry my fingers open. Ow, that hurts. Oh, yeah, that does hurt. There we go. There's no point in forcing it. It should open naturally when the time is right. You just need to be patient. Oh, and what's this now? What's in the box? She attempted to open the box for just a moment, but her efforts proved to be in vain, just as mine were. This is rather intriguing. Sorry, guys. Like your hand, it simply refuses to show us what it contains. How fascinating. Aiko was mesmerized by the unopening box. She seemed desperate to understand what force kept it sealed, almost giddy at the unspoken prospects of what it could mean. Such spiritual energy. This is wonderful. May I hold on to this, if only for tonight? I believe I might be able to open it once I've returned home. You're quite into that. Okay. I had the feeling that this was less a request than it was a statement. She would never have taken no for an answer. Yeah, she seems like that kind of girl. Like a kind of girl that gets her way. Well, it's getting late tonight. Let's talk more tomorrow, shall we? I'll come meet you after school. Okay. That night. You are so fierce right now, Yumi. After I returned home, I stood in front of my mirror and just kept trying to open my right hand. I put every bit of strength and energy I had into it. Don't hurt yourself, honey. Ah, my fingers, it opened. What I found inside my heretofore closed hands. Okay. Closed hand with teeth? Human teeth from the looks of it. Don't eat them. Very small baby teeth. 2 of them. Don't eat them. The roots of each tooth were embedded deep within my palm, and I was bleeding quite a bit as a result. Why? Why are there baby teeth in my hand? I don't know. Weird. Oh, I got an achievement. A faint light. Oh, to be continued. EVP entries for Hinoe Shinozaki have been unlocked. New Encyclopedia Obscura entries have been unlocked. Kisaragi Academy, Yoshiki Kishinuma, Gwemore, Sachiko Ever After, Yui Shishido, Ayumi Shinozaki, Seiko Shinohara, Seiko! Shimorin Jaku, South Apartments, Mayu Suzumoto, Naomi Nakashima, Satoshi Mochida, Yuka Mochida, Sakutaro Morishige, Meatman, Takamine, Nagadehala, Yoshikazu Yanagihori, Hajime Yamazaki, Mirai, what is this? Ryo Yoshizawa. Candle. Would you like to save? Yes! New chapter. Okay, chapter 1. Let's go into that. Returning. Okay, so it's startup. Okay, cool. A day had passed since the events at Shimorenjaku. I'm butchering that. South Apartments. I just can't say that name. This was to be a significant turning point for me, and Mochida might have been a part of it from the start, except that fate seemed to have other plans for him. Miss Kwan, I have something pressing I need to get to, so if you'll excuse me. No, you sit back down. Satoshi, your score on that algebra quiz yesterday was rather embarrassing, don't you think? Like an owner training a puppy, Kwan gave him a strong glare and held up her index finger in reprimand. For the next hour, I'm going to give you a personal lecture, and you're going to listen, and then the next quiz will be a snap to pass. But aren't you an English teacher? Isn't algebra a little outside your field of expertise? Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. She seemed a little taken aback by that remark, puffing up her cheeks like a chipmunk in protest. I don't know if that's how you do it or not. But Miss Kwan, it's startling how alike she and Miss Yui are. I'm sorry. Looking both bemused and guilty, Mochida tried to get up and leave his seat in one swift motion, but he was quickly and easily caught, lifted up, and forcibly sat back down. Miss Kwan was smiling. She was actually enjoying this. Who or what am I dealing with here? Yeah, she's a force of nature. Miss Kwan was only the slightest bit taller than Mochida. This did make her taller than the average, but her arms were small and frail. There seemed to be no way she could possibly have lifted someone of his build. Do not underestimate the power of a skinny person. Like, seriously. This whole situation was rather bewildering for him, and he made no attempt to hide his confusion. Now, let's begin, shall we? Yes, ma'am. He had no other option. Apparently, he was going to be studying algebra for the next hour, come hell or high water. Well, that sucks for you, Satoshi. You should have done better on the algebra quiz. Meanwhile, at a local cafe near the school, Kishinuma and I were sitting down to speak with Aiko Niwa, the informant who led my friends to me the previous night. Oh, god dang it. Let me get a drink real quick, guys. Maybe that'll help me. Ugh. Are you alright? Does your stomach hurt? I responded with a dismissive gesture while continuing to rub my abdomen with my other hand. Ever since the previous night, I had this constant, unbearable urge to pee. What the hell is wrong with me? I mean, I know I got really scared and hyperventilated, but can that affect my body like this? Did it change something in me? My bladder feels like it's fit to burst. That's a problem, sweetheart. So, where shall we begin? Aiko tilted her head and stared at me, looking me up and down, seemingly just judging my every mannerism, my every movement. It was making me feel really self-conscious. I covered my abdomen with both hands as if guarding it from her gaze. Thank you very much for your help yesterday. Think nothing of it. I only regret that your friends couldn't get to you sooner. Kisaragi Academy is quite large, so it took some time to track down Kishinuma and the others. Kishinuma and I stared at one another, still unsure how to feel about this strange new addition to our entourage. Ayumi, Kishinuma, you two are survivors from Heavenly Host Elementary, are you not? We pledged never to discuss Heavenly Host with anyone else, which we'd always assume would be an easy promise to keep. But now, casually and out of the blue, here we were. Why? How did you know about that? Well, you've been touched by the ever after. When people come into contact with the beyond, the color of their aura changes to something otherworldly, something I can see. Both Kishinuma and I were speechless. I just sat there staring at my palm, subconsciously trying to see my aura, I guess. Aiko was smiling at us triumphantly. You said you were an intelligence agent, was it? For the supernatural? And you're a friend of Naho's? That's correct. I'm the one who tipped her off about Heavenly Host Elementary, in fact. Naho, that was her name, that's right. The true source of the deaths and subsequent erasures that had turned our lives into a living nightmare was a Sachiko Ever After ritual posted on Naho's occult blog. I'd been a fan of Naho's for quite some time, so when I saw that, I knew I had to try it out with my friends from Class 2-9. And as a result, half those friends were now gone. I suppose you're aware that Naho was involved in supernatural investigations on behalf of one Mr. Kibiki, no? I am. And I know she hasn't been seen. My goodness, I know she hasn't been seen since posting information on Sachiko Ever After. Well, my business is of a similar nature. I gather data from spiritual hotspots and other supernatural locales, and sell that data to my clients for a fair profit. Not always money, mind you. Sometimes I'll do my dirty work in exchange for a particular spirit item that perks my interest. It all depends on whom I'm dealing with. It's entirely give and take. They want information, and I want their cash, or their artifacts. Physically, Aiko was a very attractive young lady, but personality-wise, the jury was still out. Her words were calculated and emotionless, her true intentions a mystery. That's usually what you get out of, like, what are they called? Mercenary. One could call me an information dealer, but I prefer intelligence agent, and Naho was a good customer. My info on Heavenly Host proved to be her last purchase, however. At the time, Naho was single-mindedly excited about Mr. Kibiki's work. She believed he could qualify for some award with the information I found for her. Say, could you tell me, was Naho there in that other world you found yourselves trapped in? Naho died, together with Mr. Kibiki. I looked down as I answered. Despite everything she'd done, the memory of Naho's passing was still painful for me. She'd become one of Heavenly Host's lost souls and gone completely berserk. In the end, I was the one who finished her off. I see. I assumed as much. Aiko seemed completely unaffected by this revelation. Her tone remained even and her expression cold and distant. Honestly, I'd had about enough of her by this point. She was so devoid of empathy, it was almost offensive. I was genuinely starting to get pissed off. And you're okay with that? I do feel sorry for her. Don't get me wrong. But I had a strong feeling things would end this way. There's no point in lamenting that for which I was fully prepared. Kishinuma continued to stare intently at Aiko with his own brand of cold and motionless eyes. He was oddly quiet, though his anger was palpable. I clenched my fist. What about this girl? I believe she performed the ritual alongside Naho. Did you see her there as well? Aiko showed us a photo of a girl named Sayaka Oue. No. I can't say I've ever met her. I see. Aiko's expression was so unfaltering you can carve it in stone. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to say something. If you're calling Naho your customer, I don't think you can really say you were her friend. My voice was breaking with rage, but even if that hadn't been the case, my face must have read like a book. This icy bitch may have had only one expression, but I sure didn't. Oh my. Do you have something against that word? When I deal with my customers, I give them a guarantee of the utmost quality and dedicate myself to their satisfaction. It's an unbreakable bond of trust, like one would have for a partner. And that's not always something you can say about friendship, now is it? I had no idea what to say. It seemed like Aiko was used to this sort of thing. Jesus Christ. Her response felt carefully rehearsed, like a sales pitch. Finally, Kishinuma broke his silence. Hey, I do want to thank you for helping us save Shinozaki yesterday. Really, but spreading dangerous information just to pay the bills? How the hell could you sleep at night? Information is just that. Information. It's harmless on its own. There's no good or bad. It's like a tool. It's up to the recipient how it's used. Anything can be harmful in the wrong hands, after all. Why, that cup over there could be used to kill a man just as easily as any knife. The hell it could. That's bullshit and you know it. Technically, you can probably do that, Yoshi. Yumi, do you agree? Aiko, I'm sorry, but I hate the way you think. I feel it's irresponsible. Ooh. Her expression remained calm and collected overall, but her eyes blinked several times in rapid succession. Did I animate it? It was the first outward sign of emotion we'd seen from her. Well, now, it seems I've come to be regarded as something of a villain here. I can't say this is new or unexpected, but it never ceases to be disheartening. Aiko quickly shrugged off her sudden outburst and was back to her usual icy self. It doesn't matter now, anyway. We destroyed Heavenly Host. It's gone. An awkward tension filled the room, or at least our table. Let's get down to business, then. There's a reason I sought you out. Something I wanted to discuss with you. I could produce a thick, hardbound file folder from the light blue bag she brought with her. She opened it to reveal several documents of a questionable nature. Among them were what looked to be a family tree, as well as numerous pages featuring black magic symbology or images that look like tree branches. Black magic spell charts? And is that the Shinozaki family tree? You may find what I'm about to tell you a bit shocking. Okay. Aiko was looking directly into my eyes now. Her gaze was fixed, intense, unblinking. What Kishinuma said a moment ago is incorrect. Yeah, huh? What do you mean? Heavenly Host Elementary has not been destroyed. It still exists, even now. That's not good. Take a look at this. Aiko placed a black and white photo on the table. It wasn't the clearest of pictures, but there was no doubt that the location it depicted was Heavenly Host Elementary. In the picture, a small girl could be seen standing in one of those all-too-familiar hallways, holding a hatchet in her right hand. It's Heavenly Host! Where did this come from? We have confirmation, then. It's a photograph I've taken. I didn't have the power to produce a clearer image, but this is the current state within Heavenly Host. Don't understand. What am I looking at? Somebody with a hatchet. Probably a ghost. I can't even describe what was going through my head at the moment. I felt like I was about to burst. Aiko, however, remained calm as ever while recounting her story. Let's start at the beginning. First, the red box from yesterday. After some time, I was able to open it, and I found these spirit items contained within. The box I found on Makina's futon. Inside it were apparently 2 stones resembling magatama, kama-shaped ceremonial objects from Japanese antiquity. Also included in the box were several more roughly hewn stones, as well as a lining along the edges consisting of crumpled pieces of thin white paper. Unfortunately, most of the box's contents were broken or damaged. This pair, however, were still fully intact. Oh. That's a logo. They looked almost like a demented version of yin and yang symbols, puzzle pieces that were clearly built to be slotted together. Aiko now held 1 stone in each hand and was motioning them towards one another as to drive that point home. Spirit items are, in the simplest terms, items which have been infused with the thoughts and feelings of the dead. Those who bear such objects will be visited by the spirits within them, or at the very least be forever privy to their memories and earthly laments. It's a wonderful thing. I don't know if that's a wonderful thing, sweetheart. I may not quite look the part, but I'm actually quite an avid collector of spiritual items. Kishinuma and I briefly locked eyes again. We shared the same look of bewilderment. Aiko's personality was much more twisted than either of us had initially perceived it to be. I tried to get a fix on this little girl's thoughts, and in doing so, I heard a vengeful cry and saw an image of a girl with braided hair in an abandoned school building. My curiosity having been piqued, I took out this camera. At this, she produced an old instant camera and placed it on the table in front of us, and tried to take a photo of the image in my mind. The result is that shot. This particular spirit item only allows me to produce images from the exact moment in time when the picture is taken. The past and future alike are beyond its reach. Isn't that what a normal camera is? I examined the photograph in greater detail, and a chill ran down my spine. There was absolutely no denying what it depicted. No. I was actually shaking. Without Sachiko Shinozaki, the school should have collapsed. It should have ceased to exist as soon as we escaped, unless there's a new Sachiko. I believe the collapse was halted, perhaps right on the brink even, maybe because of the person to whom that voice I heard belongs. Aiko motioned toward the photo in my hand. It could even be the girl in that picture. I wonder who she is. The answer was beginning to dawn on me. A sudden cold sensation exploded through my body and I shuddered as if trying to shake off the encroaching realization. God damn, you really think that hellhole's still around? Kishinuma leaned forward. The conversation was clearly beginning to engage him a lot more than it had been. Heavenly Host Elementary, or rather, the dimensional space that took on the form of Heavenly Host Elementary fascinated me from the moment I introduced it to Naho. I began to research it independently, and I learned that its true identity is, well, something like a new nirvana, another world, or hereafter, an otherworldly plane of death. Though ordinarily, one tends to think of there being only this world and the next. A new nirvana? That's correct. You know about Yoshie Shinozaki, do you not? Yeah, and of her clinic, the Shinozaki Estate, wherein the grimoire known as the Book of Shadows was located? Yeah. Why? How could she know about that? A million thoughts, a million questions were running through my head. I was speechless. All I could do was sit there and hear her out. Oh, hello. What? It was like a muffled scream or a moan of agony, the sound you make when you want to make a sound but are barely able to. That one was a little more forceful, accompanied by thrashing. It caused the nearby table light to fall over and roll along the ground. Please, dear, come now. You need to stay calm. This was Yoshie Shinozaki's clinic, and Yoshie herself was on top of her husband, holding him down with both of her hands. She continued her Shinto purification chant. And there's Sachiko right over there. To prevent Seiji from biting off his own tongue, he had been gagged with a towel. Needless to say, he wasn't looking particularly well. Not far from where this was occurring, Sachiko stood aghast, trembling as she watched the proceedings with hesitant, sidelong glances. Izanagi no Okami, who visits the underworld and beholds our foul spirits, guide us to the cleansing waters of the Tachibana on the Odo no Ahagigara shores of the land of Tsukushi. Okay. Seiji, still collapsed on the floor, was clearly suffering. His body was bent into a most unnatural shape, and he was fervently clawing at his neck. I beseech thee, in the name of the divine virtues of the gods gathered here, to wash away the sins we've committed and the impurities that dwell within our minds and bodies. Sachiko's father screamed through his gag, foam beginning to froth out from its edges. He was going into cyanosis. Ghostly images of Shinozaki women from ages past smiled down upon the event from the ceiling, laughing and mocking his suffering. Worse still, some of the women had traditionally blackened teeth, giving their smiles an unintentionally sinister edge. The atmosphere within the room was heavy, as if the spirits occupied every empty corner, dancing and flitting around freely and joyously. Seiji's body sharply bent and began convulsing. Come into this world, multitudinous Okami of Haraedo. Dear, stay with me, dear. Miyoya no Mitama, I beg of you, please do not take him. Her great-grandmother Seira, the head of the Shinozaki family, was among the black-teeth women, laughing joyously at Seiji's suffering. Oh. Some shit went down. I was wondering about her dad. His voice began to weaken and his convulsions began to lose strength. Finally, the last spark of life had left his body. His eyes rolled back into his head and all movement ceased. Daddy, why aren't you breathing? Oh, that's so sad. Sachiko looked up, eyes glazed over with tears. Yoshie, too, was stricken with grief and despair. This is what it means to be a Shinozaki, to be part of the cursed bloodline. All men who marry in are guaranteed to die quickly. Not even Yoshie could circumvent that fate. So she turned to the forbidden book, an item she and her family had been protecting for generations from those who might misuse it. The Grimoire, the Book of Shadows. Wow. To lose a loved one was a fate she feared more than anything else, so she tried to offset it through black magic. It was an act of truly absurd foolishness. She must have cared for him so deeply, she would have literally done anything to see him again, no matter the cost to her own immortal soul. Aiko stared deeply into my eyes, seemingly fishing for a reaction to her tale. But then, what happened next was almost beyond belief. I continued listening, unknowingly stroking the wound on my thigh as unpleasant memories of my own foolish run-in with black magic resurfaced. The Shinozaki blood that flowed through Yoshie's veins was more powerful than anyone could have known. Its energy spawned something much different than what Yoshie intended. By which, of course, I mean... I instantly knew what she was going to say. From the book she created, a new nirvana. There, one could coexist with the dead for all eternity. It was a new dimension cut from the netherworld itself, forcibly born into the world of the living. Whoa. Yoshie must have lost half her sanity right there. She tried to leave her only child, Sachiko, in the real world while living with her husband's soul in the new nirvana. The land of corpses. However, this nirvana had a mind of its own. Yoshie couldn't possibly control it, Shinozaki or no. I knew that all too well. Just like Yoshie, I experienced my own tragic failure with black magic at the Shinozaki clinic. Black magic has its own blowback of sorts. Her husband's soul was split apart and scattered in all directions, and Yoshie's life, too, was on the verge of being snuffed out. She knew she made a mistake. She deeply regretted it, and as she took what she could have only assumed to be her dying breath, her sole daughter, Sachiko, in possession of a nearly limitless spiritual potential, absorbed the entirety of this new nirvana into her body. Sachiko. Huh. The poor girl collapsed to the floor, violently thrashing about as the weight of an entire dimension crushed her from the inside. This action had saved her mother's life, certainly, but death would have surely been preferable. Picking herself up, Yoshie rushed to her daughter's side in tears. Ooh. Mommy, don't die, Mommy. Both parent and child were bawling, pain mixing with relief, mixing with pain again. The little girl buried her face into Yoshie's bosom and just cried and cried. Yoshie grasped her tightly in both arms, tears streaming down her face uncontrollably. By this point, Sachiko's body had begun producing a dark blue aura. I'm sorry, Sachi. I'm so sorry. Mommy was wrong. Mommy has you. So from now on, Mommy will never leave you. She'll never even think of leaving you again. Oh, man. Poor Sachiko had like a mess up thing going on. As you know, Sachiko is a direct descendant of the Shidozaki line, a thoroughbred. This means her power is greater than Yoshie's. It had to be, of course, for her to house an entire dimension within her body. Aiko took a big, noisy sip from her coffee mug. At the time, she must have been the strongest practitioner of dark arts in all the world, little girl or no. Yet, despite that, she wound up dying. That's right. The same day Yoshie fell and died, Sachiko disappeared. That was 50 years ago now. They were both killed by the principal. Just as I suspected. Principal's heinous actions are to blame. The principal's heinous actions are to blame then for resurrecting new Nirvana within Sachiko and creating the closed spaces we know as Heavenly Host Elementary. It's probably because the school was the site of Sachiko's violent demise that her Nirvana took on its own form. Yet even then, Sachiko reborn as a spirit in that realm, she was still all-powerful, seemingly continuing to exert complete control over it. Man. I guess that's why she was able to manifest so many different horrible things in there. This is all starting to make a sick sort of sense. The pieces were falling into place, and the painting an absolutely awful picture. I shuddered to myself as I considered it. When you escaped, you removed Sachiko from the equation, but the Nirvana remained, and is going berserk once more. It should have just disappeared. This world would be better off without it. This entire conversation was a roller coaster of emotions for me. At this point, I was just angry. Angry at everyone involved in this whole ordeal. That's hard to say, myself included. Now then, if I may, I'd like to discuss something a bit outlandish with you. As if everything we were discussing wasn't? Okay. Would you like to see your dead friends again? Are you gonna let me see my Seiko Boo? That certainly got our attention. We both perked our heads up immediately. Spirits that have died in the Nirvana are said to roam its grounds, trapped and unable to find rest. As such, your friends' souls may still exist on that plane. There are actually a number of useful magics listed in the Book of Shadows. Aside from the spell Yoshie used to create the new Nirvana, there's also a spell of revival. Yeah, but what do you have to exchange in order for that revival? Nakashima and I knew about that one all too well. Forcefully returning a life to this plane is, of course, dreadfully taboo, as it's considered an affront to the will of God by virtually all religious organizations. Huh? Kishinuma seemed a bit more confused than he probably should have been, though I suspect the look on my face may have had something to do with that. I'd performed that spell, the very one Aiko was describing. It took hours, failed miserably, and killed my sister. All at once the guilt returned. I lowered my head solemnly. Aiko grinned at me, and I had the sinking suspicion it was because she somehow knew what I was thinking, though I couldn't be sure, and I certainly didn't know how she would. Still, who cares about bullshit like that, right? You can be blasphemous. You can break every commandment. Bring it on. You'll do whatever it takes to resurrect your dead friends, no? All you have to do is find that book and cast the spell once more within Heavenly Host Elementary. Your chances of success would be much, much higher there, don't you think? Hold on. Do you have any idea what you're saying? What happens if things get even worse? I didn't exactly mean to interrupt Kishinuma, but quite honestly, I didn't even realize he was talking. I was too focused on what Aiko just said. You know about it, don't you? Our failed attempt at Yoshie's place. Me and Nakashima. Aiko tilted her head at me, that same wry smile creeping across her face. She'd gone from cold and emotionless to knowing and expressive in a mere instant. I don't think we really believed what was happening to us. It was like a dream. What we saw was impossible. What we experienced was impossible. I thought I was going insane. It shouldn't have been possible. We shouldn't have done it. I want to put all of this behind me. But it was real. Aiko pointed to the scar on my neck, then went one step further and lightly brushed it with her hand. I could feel that touch deep within my soul. I suddenly found myself swallowing my next breath, practically choking on thin air. See? You came in contact with something ordinary people could never even imagine. Do you really think you can just turn tail and run from that now? I looked down again, trying my best to avoid Aiko's gaze. Do you really think I can do it? When had I started crying? I raised my head again, intent on looking deep into Aiko's eyes as she answered my question, but she looked so blurry through my tears. I could tell, though, that she was smiling at me. It was the same expression, her new standard. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Can you be more specific? Can I? Really? Yes, what is it? I want to hear you say it. What exactly is it that you wish to accomplish? Can I bring everybody back? Nicely done. Aiko patted my head as one might dogs after a successfully performed trick. What the grimoire produces are miracles, spawned from the wisdom of the witches, and these miracles hold the power to bend fate, even if that fate is set in stone, so to speak. You are a descendant of the House of Shinozaki, a family of immensely powerful practitioners of magic, and since Hinoe is no longer with us, this is something only you can do. My confidence was being bolstered by the minute, though in retrospect, that was likely Aiko's aim. Nonetheless, if there were still something I could do for my friends... But wait! I don't even know where the Book of Shadows is anymore! Plus, you're no longer able to travel to Heavenly Host by way of the Sachiko Ever After ritual. Now that Sachiko is gone, correct? Yeah, that's right. That's what Yuki said anyway. Yuki Kano, a girl from the school. Aiko once again placed the bluish-white Magatama stones from the box in either hand, this time fitting them together, though not quite the way they were supposed to interlock. That's where these come in. What are they? They house an exceptional amount of spiritual energy, as one would expect given that they're spirit items from the Shinozaki line. The voice I heard told me about them. They're called Ever After Stones. Ever After Stones. I leaned forward despite myself. The name sent a shiver down my spine, but now that I heard it, I had to know more. These two are one. Fit them together like puzzle pieces and chant, Nirvana, I summon the dead, and all who are in direct or indirect contact, all who are in direct or indirect contact with them will be spirited away. We both flinched at her chant, but Aiko just smiled. She must have intentionally oriented the stones the wrong way so the charm wouldn't activate. It's the same when you return. She tossed the stone she'd been holding in her right hand into her left, where it clacked together with the other. Strange, isn't it? This girl taught me the technique herself. Aiko gazed longingly at the stones. She was clearly utterly enamored by them. It seemed as if they were the key factors in unleashing her newfound emotional expressiveness. But my focus was elsewhere. Without a doubt, the items Aiko now held in her left hand were extraordinarily dangerous, possibly the most dangerous, horrific objects in the entire world. However, while Aiko was ogling them with her left hand, her right was feeling around for something in her breast pocket. She slowly removed it, producing an old black and white photograph. When had she taken that? It was the same photograph I'd seen at Makina Shinozaki's house the previous night. Okay. It depicted a young Yoshie alongside her mother and Makina. Okay, so Yoshie is the little one, her mother, and then Makina. Okay. When Yoshie was in her teens, she adored her aunt Makina and would often go over her place for a visit. The Shinozaki family, world famous for their spiritual abilities, and this was when it was all started. The surviving elder of the Yagura Society felt it was too dangerous to leave these items with the Matubas, so he came here intending to steal the Book of Shadows away from them. But he felt it would be more dangerous for the book and stones to remain together, so while he gave the book to Yoshie for safekeeping, he gave the stones to Makina. Okay. Yagura Society? Matubas? I've never heard these terms before at all. And then there was that damn Book of Shadows again. Why did it have to keep coming up? Because it's a big part of it. You removed Sachiko Shinozaki from that school, and in doing so, you created the perfect storm of opportunity. Two-way travel to and from that dimension is now possible. It's no longer a one-way road. A new spiritual hotspot, something not of this world, has been born. She thrust the Ever After stones towards me triumphantly and continued to make her pitch, growing more excited by the second. I was legitimately speechless. What could I say? Don't you see? That place is a gold mine. Gold mine. People can no longer claim the world of spirits as fake, or that spiritual investigators like myself are lying. It's all different now. Occult research can be legitimized. I'm even considering bringing people to that cursed dimension on tour if I can, to make it a little extra cash. That's dangerous, lady. Kishinuma and I both reacted to this preposterous suggestion with a start. She couldn't possibly be serious, could she? She seems pretty serious. I've deleted the proxy doll data from Naho's blog, so no one will be able to jump that way anymore. Only I possess the means to enter that place now. Hehe. That was weird. What could she possibly have been thinking? I wanted to stop her at once. I wanted to take those stones and break them right there on the spot before anyone else got hurt. But When I begin conducting these tours, however, I want to make customer safety my top priority. And you seek your friend's spirits, do you not? Well, reinvestigating that dimension could help you reach that goal. Our destinations are the same, Ayumi. Aiko leaned in as she spoke. Her breath, scented with the sugary sweetness of the extravagant dessert we've been eating, tickled my nose. So what do you say? Let's go back to Heavenly Host Elementary together. One more time, shall we? I really wanted to conduct tours using the paper dolls, but missed my chance. Now, though, I have these lovely stones. I feel this must be fate, and I can make a business of it. Aiko seemed like she was on top of the world, but that just made me all the more disgusted with her. How about it? On the other hand, she was offering me a chance to save our lost friends, and however remote that chance may have been, it stacked the odds frustratingly in her favor. I still couldn't say yes. I still couldn't just say yes, but I also couldn't say no. Honestly, I resented Aiko for putting me in this position. I glared at her for a moment before I said anything. I can't answer that right now. Give me some time to think it over. I'd almost forgotten Kishinuma was there. Sudden waves of guilt washed over me. He had an absolutely incredulous look on his face. I couldn't bear to see it, so I looked away. We don't know where the Book of Shadows is anyway. Plus, how do we know those stones can actually do what you say they can? There's no way you could have already tried it, right? Aiko smiled. She oriented the two stones so they form a perfect yin-yang symbol and slotted them together once again. Immediately, the stones began glowing with a bluish-white hue, and a stream of energy started to form around her. You've got to be kidding me. Aiko continued smiling and looked directly into my eyes. No need to decide now. Think it over. Yes, it's true. The full range of these stones' power is yet to be tested, so their true danger is as of yet undetermined. She slowly separated the two stones as she said this, and the energy surrounding her dissipated. But they're from the home of Makina Shinozaki, a prominent branch on the Shinozaki tree. Their authenticity and the incredibility of my intelligence is hard to dispute. This is hell of a thing. Can I see him? Kishinuma didn't wait for an answer. He grabbed the Ever After stones from Aiko's hands and began examining them carefully. Hard to believe this is what was in that box. You weren't planning on keeping these stones all to yourself, were you? Aiko seemed taken aback by the question. Way to go, Kishinuma. You managed to catch her off guard. Half the credit for finding them is due to Shinozaki risking her skin after all. Aiko seemed to ponder these words for a moment. Well, let's make sure neither of us can go by ourselves. We'll each keep one of the two stones. Alright, give me one, Kishinuma. Sure thing. Kishinuma plopped one of the stones in my hand, then slipped the other back into the drawstring pouch Aiko had brought them in and closed it up. There. He then casually handed the pouch back to its rightful owner. Feel free to give me a call anytime you like, and don't worry, I'll even help you find the Book of Shadows, free of charge. Aiko flashed us the biggest, most gregarious smile I think I'd ever seen. And when we do find it, you will go with me, won't you, Ayumi? I closed my eyes and gave something like a half-hearted half-nod. Lowering my head without raising it again, it was interpreted as a yes, but I'm not sure I meant it that way. Good. That being the case, it's on me today. Aiko got up and grabbed the check. No, I'll pay for mine. I took out my wallet. I had no desire to owe this person anything. Aiko just smiled. Dutch it is, then. Hee. What does that even mean? Oh, yes, I almost forgot. I'd like you to have this. Aiko handed her thoughtograph to me. Now, it's not going to bite you, and I'm not asking for any money for it, so please, just take it with my blessing. I don't know how I feel about this. Can I have a life-saving candle after all that dialogue? I despise her. Me too. Suzumoto, Shinohara, Morishige, and Mitsui. As soon as I'm done with those four, I'm breaking this stone. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Better make sure to break the other one, though, too, while you're at it. As if he'd been waiting for this cue, Kishinuma pulled the other stone from his pocket. He fucking chipped it. She doesn't know what it's like in that school. I mean, she was actually getting excited about going there. So I helped myself to when she wasn't looking. Kishinuma, that's amazing. You're terrible. Hey, serious business calls for serious action. Though, Shinozaki, I don't know how to say this exactly, but about the whole resurrection thing, the whole situation with Suzumoto and the others should probably be left alone, don't you think? You've gone through so much already, and have come really close to dying, and I don't think any of them, not Suzumoto, Mitsui, Shinohara, or Morishige, would want that. But that might not be true. Damn it, Shinozaki, just stop. Do you know how much Satoshi and Nakashima have been worrying about you? I'm sorry. But Kishinuma, please, you have to understand. I just need a little more. I need you to humor me for just a little bit longer, okay? Please, just let me do this. Fine, but listen, you're not doing it alone. I'm going to keep one of the stones. Okay. Oh, he's so cute! He's so cute, pats for Ayumi. It'll be alright, you know. I turned my gaze up to Kishinuma's. My eyes must have looked like saucers, windows into a mind full of worries, ideas, and fears spurred by this unexpected turn of events. If anything happens, don't hesitate to call me, okay? I'm here for you. I don't want you blindly rushing into dangerous situations like you did yesterday. I may not be able to offer much, but I'm confident I can at least protect you from harm. Kishinuma patted me on the head reassuringly as he said this, and I had no idea how to react. Kiss him! I felt warm and safe, but also a little annoyed, much like a younger sister being simultaneously comforted and scolded by her big brother. All I could say in response was, okay. I could feel my eyes still bulging from my head, opened as far as my eyelids would allow. I imagined how I must have appeared to Kishinuma, and was momentarily embarrassed. He cares for you! Come on now, let's get you home. Okay. Well, this has been a... Oh. Who are you? He's late. Seriously, what do you think? That boy needs a boot to the head, I swear. Jeez. Okay, bye. Where am I going? I have no idea. I remember running up these stairs with Mayu Suzumoto. At the time, it never dawned on me that the legitimacy of those memories would ever be called into question. Why would it? When you graduate, transfer, or get married, you're always still able to see one another as long as you're both alive. But in this reality, it's as if Suzumoto never existed. Oh, it's so sad. Okay. Where else can I go? Can I run across the street blindly? Oh yeah, I need to chill out. There we go. Okay. We're gonna let you chill. I don't know how long it takes you to get your stamina back. No. Okay. What? Where are all the people? The streets seem unusually quiet. Is it just because of the late hour? That's a good question there. What's this? Okay, you won't let me see. Is the owner of this house happy? Obviously, they're experiencing the daily joys and hardships of life like everyone else, but do they really understand what it all means? You've had a tough time of it. Okay, so I can't go that way. Do I talk to Yoshi again? Do I go in here? The sign on the door reads closed for the day, though this building has actually been vacant for years. This used to be photo studio, I think? I can't go. There's a human arm poking out through the hole in one of the garbage bags. What?! Though on closer inspection, it's from a mannequin. Oh my god. Game! Really? That actually jump scared me. The sound was noisy and then... good job. I don't need anything right now. Okay. What's here? Let's talk to Yoshi. Ready to head home? Okay. Come on then, let's go. I didn't have anywhere else to... I'm home. Welcome back. News of yet another bizarre death has just come in. This time a Mr. Okabe, who was discovered within the city at this location, having suffered a broken spine. A Tokyo map was displayed on the television screen marked with 2 red dots. The marquee at the bottom provided the headline, "Sudden violent deaths remain unexplained." Dinner will still be a while yet. Maybe you should take your bath first, Ayumi. Okay. A bath sounds nice. You just leave your socks on the frickin' floor? Without thinking, I left the socks I just removed from my feet on the living room floor and began walking towards the bathroom. Hey! Socks! I have to do that with my son too, because he just takes his socks off and his shirt when he comes home and just on the floor. Ah. There you go. This was a bad habit of mine, so ingrained within me that it had almost become a ritual. Mom did well to have caught it so quickly. I grabbed my socks and left the room. Yeah, well, can I really bring them all back? If I use the Book of Shadows inside Heavenly Host this time, it just might work. I set my bag down in my room quickly and automatically grabbed my sweatpants and spats and made a beeline for the bathroom. When I got there, I threw my socks into the hamper with purpose. Then peeling off my school uniform, as I observed myself in the mirror, I began to murmur. Blowback. If I'm not careful, the same thing could happen again. Those burn marks on my neck and arms were eternal reminders of what I've been through at the Shinozaki estate. I could clearly remember the agony I went through as they formed. I remember watching them sear into my flesh out of thin air, blood spurting from them as if I'd been knifed. I only survived because Hinoe sacrificed herself in my place. I have to do it. I tried to force self-confidence into my expression. When it wouldn't come, I slapped my cheeks hard. It was in me somewhere. It just needed to be yanked out into the open. You have to do your best, damn it. Okay. Hello, Ayumi. Naked Ayumi. Did you make a little poot? Oh. I lowered my head into the water ever so slightly, blowing bubbles in the water with my mouth. The pros and cons of returning to Heavenly Host were racing through my head. This is the power to challenge fate itself, to rewrite it. And I'm a Shinozaki, so this is something only I can do. I have to show everyone that I can bring them back. Well, I can understand why you'd want to. If only I knew where to find the Book of Shadows. I need to get my hands on it again. Ayumi! Decency! What are you doing there? I'm naked! Get out! Oh, you're seriously going to look for the Book of Shadows? Your lack of sense never ceases to amaze me. Huh? Yeah, I'd squeal too. This was just about the last thing I expected. I couldn't help but scream. It was that same boy who'd found his way into my room last time, wearing the exact same clothes. He spoke to me without once turning his head to look in my direction. So, you know about the Nirvana now. You finally pieced it all together, and realized what you have to do. He smiled, still facing away from me. It was a confident yet sinister grin. Why? Why and how? Hiding one's presence is about as basic a spell as they come. There's no need for the blown gasket. As for why I'm here, it's to remind you. Remind you of who you are and what you have to do. Your bloodline carries with it a certain responsibility, after all. You... Pervert, stalker, molester, I'm calling the cops. My face had to have been as red as fire by this point. Shut the fuck up, titless. Oh, God. Who are you calling a pervert when you got the body of a grade schooler? Ain't nobody gonna want to see a washboard like that. What? My head felt like it now housed all the blood from my entire body. I imagined myself white as a sheet below the neck and flashing red above it, on the verge of a megaton explosion. Just listen up. The Book of Shadows is back in the Nirvana. It happened when you messed up at the Shinozaki estate. Here. He handed me the thoughtograph from Aiko. When did you... What are you trying to pull? Just look at it, you blind bitch. Here. Right the fuck here. I grabbed the photograph from his hands as aggressively as I could muster, then backed away slightly, putting as much distance between me and him as humanly possible. She's got the Book of Shadows in her hand. It was definitely the same picture as of the little girl holding the hatchet that Aiko had shown us earlier, but I now noticed that she is holding something in her other hand too. It was a hard-bound book, the size of a typical desk dictionary, and though I could barely make it out, there was a certain aura to it that looked an awful lot like a face. God, it is. If you want to use its power, you gotta go back to Nirvana. Or should I say, back to Heavenly Host. Jump over there and get the book, and then maybe, just maybe, you can make your wish come true. He stuck out his hand and pointed directly at my face, then slowly lowered it down towards my abdomen. He was now inexplicably pointing at my lower body, but as soon as I started to get self-conscious, he flipped his hand over and opened it, exposing his palm. There was another piece of 10-yen gum cup there, the same kind as before. I'm not sure why I took it, but I did, without even thinking. What's up with the gum, yo? As soon as the exchange was made, he immediately turned toward the bathroom window, apparently preparing to make his escape. Who are you? And why me? My question seemed to stop him in his tracks. Aren't you going to explain all this? I wasn't about to drop my guard, especially given the obvious advantage this boy had over me. But he didn't seem like he'd come to attack me or anything. Rather, it was almost like he was trying to lead me somewhere, to show me the way. I can't answer that just yet. He turned his head towards me just enough so I could catch a brief glimpse of the eyes beyond his hood. They were ice blue in color, but gentle and sincere. He smiled once more as he leapt out the bathroom window. I was kind of dumbfounded. I had no idea how to process what just happened. What's wrong, Ayumi? Are you okay? Mom barged into the bath, brandishing a broom. It was probably the first thing she could find with which to fend off potential intruders. Too bad she hadn't been just a moment quicker. All I could do was squat on the cold bathroom floor and stare at her with hollow eyes. There was no way to adequately explain any of this to her. No, not really. It was late at night, and I still hadn't bothered changing out of my school uniform. I needed food, though, so I decided to hit up the convenience store on my way back home. I picked up a bottle of olives, a pack of tofu, some mineral water, and other various things to keep me going for a while. The hell's this? I could hardly believe it. There was actually an occult section at the damn mini-mart with all kinds of stupid stuff like spirit talisman magnets and anti-demon wards. I grabbed one off the shelf and randomly looked at the company logo on the back side. PL Promotions Co. Inc. For these last 2 months, since we've gotten back from Heavenly Host, it seemed like there was a real spiritual boom going on all over the world. Whenever there'd be a strange death or something, the public would be all over it, downright excited about the possibility that it might be supernatural in nature. It was all over TV shows and magazines, too, with independent researchers checking out spiritual hotspots and giving fancy new age advice to people just to boost ratings or sales. And now this, exorcism merchandise next to prepackaged cupcakes and ready-made dinners. Get your talismans at the corner store now, huh? Not too long ago I'd made fun of all this crap. Guess it's not such a laughing matter anymore, though. Never thought I'd see the day when I'd pick up one of these things and wonder if it actually works. The item I was examining happened to be one of the spirit talisman magnets, seemingly the last one in stock. An old lady suddenly reached around me from behind and yanked it right out of my hands. What? Her grunt sounded like an animal. She glowered at me for a moment before taking her prize over to the register. And I just stood there staring blankly at her as she walked away. The hell? Yeah, that was rude. Thank you very much. Oh. Okay. There's flowers. It's a withered bouquet of flowers. Oh, yeah, I heard there was a serial killer who recently done in a middle school girl around here. These were probably left in memory of her or something. It's pretty messed up. She was... Oh, no. That is messed up. Where am I going? Kishinuma? What are you doing out? Shinozaki, what are you doing here this late? I thought you went home. I did. Sorry to accost you like this. You just got off work? Yeah, I had the late shift today. Wait, don't tell me you've been waiting here for me this whole time, have you? Man, I'm really sorry. No, it's fine. It was actually a really chilly night. I could see Shinozaki's breath dissipating around her chin in short, frequent bursts. It's not fine at all. You're shivering. You can come in if you want. I'll get you some hot tea or something. Thanks. My room was on the second floor of the apartment building. I hadn't been expecting guests, but I had just tidied up for my own sake a little while back, so it was fairly presentable. It looks nice to me. Shinozaki immediately sat down on my bed and began sipping the tea I made for her. She was holding it in both hands, probably less for politeness and more just to warm them up. Sip, go. This is really good, isn't it? It's from my sister. She sends it to me with all the time. Says it's made from really good leaves. The sound of a large truck driving by seemed to catch her off guard. She was clearly a bit jittery. Unsurprising, all things considered. They do construction at this hour? Yeah, when it gets close to the end of the year, they do all kinds of pointless work out there. It's like this every night. I've been sleeping like crap because of it. That sounds really annoying. Time passed us by at a snail's pace. Shinozaki continued to sip her tea, never once removing either hand from the warm cup. She definitely had something on her mind. Something had happened. It was written all over her face. Are you fighting with your parents or something? Oh, don't worry. They know I'm here. They do? Yeah. Shinozaki was in my room. I dreamed about this before, but never thought it would actually happen. Oh! Okay, but... I just kind of want to know, like, what you're doing here this late. Did something happen? You could say that. Of course. Seriously? You want to go back to Heavenly Host right now? I was half acting, as admittedly this wasn't entirely unexpected. Shinozaki may be a lot of things, but unpredictable is not among them. Please? So, you came here to get the stone from me. I took out the Ever After stone I'd stolen from Aiko. Come on, Shinozaki, think about it. Yeah, the stones got all glowy, so they probably can send you over, but what do you actually hope to accomplish once you get there? What if you get stuck again and can't get out? You'll die! And if you die over there, your existence will be erased over here. You'll be gone! I tried to be as strong and commanding as I could possibly muster. I needed her to realize what a bad idea this was. I don't care if I'm erased. I just want to save our friends. Save them? The Grimoire, the Book of Shadows, I know where it is. That book you were talking about earlier? Yeah, here, look. She had the thoughtograph thing from Aiko with her. She had that thoughtograph thing from Aiko with her, and it was pointing at the little girl's left arm. It's been staring us in the face this whole time. Look, in her hand, that is the Book of Shadows. I didn't have to look very hard to see it, but... Okay, so she's carrying a book. Fine, but do you have any proof that it's the Book of Shadows? No, but I don't think it could be anything else. You don't think. We just have to go to Heavenly Host and get it back. Then we can save everyone's souls from the Nirvana. We can finally resurrect Suzumoto and the others. How could I argue with that? There are so many assumptions being made, but she was so sure of herself, so certain that this would work. She wasn't about to listen to reason. Oh, Jesus! I wasn't ready for that. Shinozaki shook her head furiously, like some sort of violent shudder. It almost seemed like she was trying to shake something loose from her mind. But can these rocks actually take us back to Heavenly Host? That girl, Aiko Niwa, was it? There was something just not quite right about her, don't you think? Well, we won't know that until we test them now, will we? But if they do work, the souls of all our friends are on the line, and I believe we have a real chance of saving them. Shinozaki. She still had deep scars all along her arms, legs, and neck. Anyone could tell at a glance that she'd just recovered from a serious accident. She sounded so self-assured, so self-confident, but it was hard to take any of that seriously. This was the first time in my life I'd found myself tearing up over someone and not being embarrassed that I was crying. Honestly, it surprised me even how deeply I cared about Shinozaki, and how much I just didn't want to lose her. My eyes were getting hot and glazed, and I felt utterly helpless. It's called love, friend. I can't talk about this with anyone else, but you trust me, Kishinuma, don't you? You're putting him in a bad position there. I was at a complete loss for words. I found myself literally scratching my head trying to come up with a good answer. This was Shinozaki, and she had come to me for moral support, for encouragement, for peace of mind. It was really the first time she'd ever truly relied on me, ever truly counted on me. I knew then what I had to do. Damn it. You know what we went through in that piece of shit school. There's no telling what might be waiting for us over there now. But if you're sure about this, we should do it. Honestly, I have no idea what the hell you're thinking, but I promised you one thing and I intend to deliver on that. What one thing? You already forgot? That I'd protect you, no matter what. He's so sweet. Shinozaki and I stared into each other's eyes for a moment, each of us trying to figure the other out. Don't worry, everything will be okay. I tried to force a smile. Shinozaki had basically curled up into a ball at this point. Her tiny body collapsed in on itself for support, but now, all of a sudden, she unfurled herself and glared at me. I couldn't tell if she was mad or happy or what. Her eyes were either like daggers or saucers. I couldn't really make out which. Maybe she'd come here expecting me to actively shoot down her ideas or something. Maybe she thought she'd be alone in this. Maybe she'd figure out what I was up to. Or maybe she'd been expecting me to say exactly what I said to her, and maybe it annoyed her? Either way, tears began to explode from her eyes so quickly that red bags were forming under them almost instantly. She then turned her back to me, all with one seemingly unconscious spin of her body. Shinozaki, are you okay? During the day, you remember when you patted my head? She seemed like she was trying her hardest not to let herself cry, though it wasn't exactly working. Huh? I did? Yeah, you don't remember? She paused, seemingly waiting for me to answer, but I had no idea what to say, and absolutely didn't want to say the wrong thing, so I just stood there like a doll. Never mind then. If you don't remember, that's fine. Finally, she turned back to face me, her tears mostly dry. Still a little self-conscious about crying, though. She kept her eyes closed, a telltale frown belying her confidence. There was obviously something between the lines for me to read here, but the hell if I knew what it was. Here, let me see your stone. Huh? Oh, okay. Shinozaki removed the Ever After stone from her pocket and placed it squarely in my hand. I positioned it next to my stone and stared intently at the two. This was the turning point. What I did next could decide our fates. I couldn't mess this up. Okay. Outside my window, I could still hear the sound of construction vehicles driving by. It was now or never. And as close as to one solid motion as I could manage, I opened my window and chucked the two stones out into the road. Hey! I timed it perfectly and my aim couldn't have been better. Another truck was just about to pass by and the stones were immediately in its path. The sound I heard next was a satisfying crunch. It was a sound of delicate glass-like rocks breaking into tiny pieces. Shinozaki had rushed over to the window and directly witnessed the fate of the Ever After stones. As soon as the truck drove over them, she collapsed to her knees. Okay. Like I said, I'll protect you no matter what I have to. Ooh, she slapped him. I couldn't even finish my sentence before Shinozaki's palm slammed my face with an incredible force. The loud smack of flesh on flesh echoed throughout the room. The side of my face was immediately in pain. I began rubbing it with my hand as I looked into Shinozaki's eyes. Her face was filled with tears and her nose was running. She was breathing so heavily her shoulders were bobbing up and down. I never should have trusted you. Oh. Shinozaki, listen, I was wrong to believe you'd help me. I should have known better. She was absolutely hysterical with rage. You think I could just stand by and let you go back there? Back there? It was my turn to fire back now. I was certain I'd done the right thing. How do you even know for sure the book is there? And how did you intend to get it back from that girl once you got there? Going over there without a plan would be certain death. I hate you. You're an ass, a delinquent, a worthless piece of shit. Oh! Leaving me with those hurtful words, Shinozaki then pushed past me and ran out of my room crying like a child the whole way. I stood back up, rubbing my cheek where I'd been slapped. A worthless piece of shit? Ow. Oh, man. Please, please, God, where are they? Oh, no. I don't have any life-saving candle yet. That's a little disconcerting. Because I've gone through a lot of dialogue. Found them! They're okay? But they were run over by a truck. Why would that matter? Those aren't just any old stones. You. Hello. You have your hood off now. The method is in your grasp now, wrested from the opposition. Now it's time to indulge in what you want. To push forward and to put that method to the test. Blech. You can make the jump now. You're so much more than those filthy peasants. You can surpass them. You can interject your own will into the fabric of this world. Are you on my side then? Shinozaki. Kishinuma. I'm miles ahead of this trash. Huh? Who the hell? It's that guy I passed in front of Shinozaki's place. They're still intact? Damn it! Shinozaki, give them to me. No. This has to stop. You can't go over there. How many times do you think you can cheat death before death wins? No. Hand them over, damn it. No! Oh, fuck. Bad dog. Wow. Ayumi, you asked if I was on your side. I am. I'm your guardian. I was Hinoe's, your sister's, protege. I owe a lot to her. My name is Misuto Kiria of the Yaguro Society. You were my sister's good girl. You remember the chant to unlock their powers, don't you? Then let's get started. Let me see those stones. Okay. Click! Ooh. Pretty! Hold on tight to me, and here. A good luck charm. Don't lose it. Huh? What is that in there? Is that a dinosaur egg? The Argus Cube. Okay. Shinozaki, don't go! Don't. I'm sorry. You don't need to worry about me anymore. You should live the life of a peasant. It's only fitting. Stop. Nirvana, I summon the dead. Shinozaki. Woo! Freaky. Give me a life-saving candle, please. This can't be happening. Shinozaki. Damn it. Why? God damn it. Life-saving candle, please. Where am I? You're back in Heavenly Host Elementary. The stench, this heaviness. Yep. It's Heavenly Host. Huh? Misuto, where are you? The Ever After Stones. They're gone. What do I do now? Misuto must still have them. But without them, without those stones, I can't get back. Misuto! Uh-oh. I'm all alone in the school. Again. Yeah. God. No, I can't start panicking. He's here somewhere. I'll find him. This is just how it happened last time, too. Oh, nice. She's using her phone for the... like. Hello! Are you the girl that died outside the... Hi? Okay. A little more active than we'd like it to be. Huh? Huh? Hello? No one is coming to save you. Die, kill, kill, die, die, die. Like a pomegranate. What? Head so full of juice. Ugh. Welcome. Yeah, I can see. This is gonna bring up a lot of pain. Okay, now I am her. I need a life-saving candle pronto, yo. Let me out. Life-saving candle, please. Oh, crap. It wasn't this dark last time. There's some things moving on there. There wasn't a clock like that in here last time either. I guess things really are different now. I hope Misuto hasn't gotten too far. I don't even know his phone number. Like you'd be able to reach him. Unless I check he wouldn't be able to. Actually, I should leave a message for him. Okay. Yes! Misuto, it's Ayumi. Please call me. Oh, 090. Bunch of X's. Good enough, I think. Now let's see if I can find him anywhere. Life-saving candle. Please. Oh my god, yes. And that, my friends, is where we are stopping. Because I have this going on for like an hour now. But we are finally back into Heavenly Host. The introduction is over, which is majority of the first part of it. The first couple hours is the introduction, getting back there. Now we are in the thick of it. It's going to be fun, and obviously it's going to be jump scary, and I'm excited about that. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment down below, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to get all of my notifications. Let's play again next time. Bye!